You know what? I don't think Pokemon appreciates the normal type enough. Every time there is a new normal type gym leader, their team doesn't make good use of the type. Did you know that the strongest normal type gym leader is Larry, whose strongest Pokemon is a level 36 Staraptor? Not to mention he Terra types it to normal instead of flying. So one day I was sitting in my room trying to come up with video ideas, and I thought, what if I was a gym leader? So today we'll be trying to become Sinnoh's best normal type trainer. Hopefully I can convince Cynthia or Professor Rowan to give me my own gym. Let's establish some ground rules for the playthrough. Number 1. I can only catch normal type Pokemon. Number 2. This is not a Nuzlocke. I have done some in the past and I don't really like them, and I honestly don't want to restart the whole run if I make one mistake. Number 3. Win. Also, these rules I didn't mention. With all of that said, let's get this run started. The second I wake up at night, Barry rushes over to take me to Lake Verity. He wants to search for a shiny Gyarados, but apparently he's really bad at geography, because the last time I checked, the shiny Gyarados was in the Lake of Rage in Johto. Anyways, we arrive at the lake and see Professor Rowan and Lucas doing some research, but they leave their briefcase behind and me and Barry go to recover it. Suddenly we're attacked by some wild Starlies and I'm forced to take a Pokeball from the professor's bag. Challenge failed. Okay, pause for 1 second. Let's consider the semantics here. While there are 2 battles between choosing a starter and obtaining Pokeballs, for the sake of this run being, well, possible, the run will officially start when Pokeballs are obtained. Unpause. Anyways, blah blah blah, yada yada story stuff, and we got Pokeballs. The run officially begins. Running around the tall grass, I find a Bidoof, the Pokemon who will carry me to victory. I name her Champ in anticipation of our success. While I'm training up Champ, I find a Burb. Her name is Burb. I reach Orberg City and I challenge Rourke, and thank goodness I'm not doing a Nuzlocke because you want to know how many tries it took me to beat him? 20 tries. 20 tries! Maybe this challenge was a mistake. The problem was the only super effective I can learn is Rock Smash on Champ, and since it doesn't evolve into B-Barrel until level 15, I just kept challenging the gym over and over again because I hate grinding for levels. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Eventually, I make it out of Orberg City and start making my way up towards Eterna. On my way, I run into Team Galactic. I beat them up, but I couldn't help but notice all of these strange cat Pokemon they have on their teams. I think I've seen them before, but I don't recognize them. They must have been Dark types though, since they went down to a couple of Rock Smashes from Champ. While adventuring through Eterna Forest with Cheryl, I caught a Baneri who I definitely remembered to immediately nickname. Her name's Cheese.
Cheese.
When I reached Eterna City, I immediately left to go catch a Hoot Hoot. Luckily, I only have time to play at night, so it only took me a lot longer than it should have to catch one. I named him Hootsufer after the best character in the Owl House. Going back to Eterna, I was able to quickly defeat Gardenia with minimal issues. Who knew that having 2 flying types on the team would make the grass gym easy? I tried to go south to Hardhome, but I needed a bike first to get on the cycling road. The guy who owns a bike shop was kidnapped by Team Galactic though, so Cynthia gave me the cut TM so that I could go unkidnap him. I had to fight Commander Jupiter, which ended up being a pretty easy battle. Anyways, I picked a yellow bike to match my channel colors and made my way towards Hardhome. When I got there, I decided to enter a beauty contest with my most beautiful Pokemon, and Champ lived up to her name yet again. Then out of nowhere, Barry challenges me to a battle, but Barry's bad at evolving his Pokemon, so he loses easily. I was just about to go on towards the Laceon town when a hiker stopped me and offered me an egg. By the time I made it to Veilstone, my team was looking pretty good. Since I had 2 strong flying types on my team, I thought that I would easily defeat Mei Li. After I got humbled, I decided to make my way down to Pastoria to train on my team. When I got there, I went to the Great Marsh, picked up the Defog TM, and immediately dug underground to catch a Munchlax and an Aipom. Eventually, I found a Munchlax, which exploded and I couldn't catch it. Luckily, the Aipom I found didn't kill itself, so I caught it, named it Namankey for some reason, and we're moving on. Since my team was more equipped to take on Crash or Wake, I decided to challenge him first. For some reason, Champ can learn both Thunderbolt and Grass Knot, so his team went down pretty easily. I made my way back up to Maylene's gym, and after Not Mankey evolved into Not Primeape, it was an easy win. Back in Pastoria, I found a Team Galactic Grunt acting suspicious, so I challenged them to a battle. They used another one of those cat Pokémon. I still don't know which one it is. After defeating the Galactic Grunt in battle, I interrogate them, and found out that Team Galactic is planning on bombing Celestic Town. So I tried to go up to Celestic Town to stop them, but Cynthia stopped me on the way and is like, "Hey, my grandma lives up there, can you give this to her?" So I became her errand boy for the day. When I got there, I delivered the Dusty Charm and beat up the Team Galactic goons. I realized I hadn't beaten the Heart Home Gym yet, so I went back there to challenge Fantina. Gertrude the Blissey is the MVP in this battle, and makes quick work of her team. Wait, you didn't know I had a Blissey? Oh yeah. The egg I had hatched into a Happiny, and that evolved into a Blissey after I beat the Pastoria Gym. Quick side note, and this will make me sound really stupid. After defeating some Galactic Grunts in Veilstone, I forgot to pick up the Fly HM from the Galactic Warehouse. So until I got to the Heart Home Gym and remembered I hadn't received Fly yet, I was just walking everywhere. This included Veilstone to Pastoria, Pastoria to Veilstone, Pastoria to the end of Route 212 and back, Veilstone to Salacion, Salacion to Celestic, and Celestic back to Veilstone. I honestly don't know how I forgot the HM I ended up using the most throughout the run. Like, I didn't forget Defog or Rock Climb, but I forgot the one that makes gameplay move faster. I made my way over to Canalave City, where Barry decides it's a great idea to have a battle in the middle of a drawbridge. I run into the gym, beat up Byron, get the gym badge, you know how it goes. Then Team Galactic blows up Lake Valor for no reason, so I have to go over there and beat them up. Professor Rowan gets attacked while investigating Lake Verity, so I have to beat up Team Galactic there too. Professor Rowan notices how good I am at beating up villains near large bodies of water, so he sends me over to Lake Acuity to help out Barry. But I got distracted and went to Snowpoint City to challenge Candace instead. Now I can use 4 Pokemon on my team, but I only end up needing to use 3 to win. After burning the ice gym to the ground, I remember to go to Lake Acuity to help out Barry. I'm expecting to fight Commander Jupiter, but she already beat up Barry and went back to Galactic HQ. So after I chase Jupiter back to Veilstone City, I break into the Galactic HQ and start beating up everyone inside. I run into Cyrus again and he's like, "You're just here to save the Lake Guardians, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just here to beat up Jupiter." Cyrus challenges me to a battle anyways, but his team is worse than Barry's, so he goes down pretty easily. I run into the next room where I challenge Saturn to a battle, win, and free the Lake Guardians. Saturn tells me that Jupiter and the rest of Team Galactic is going up Mount Coronet, so I travel back to Ortberg and start climbing up to stop them. When I reach the top, I see Cyrus, Jupiter, and Mars waiting to challenge me to a battle. I wanted to get revenge on Jupiter, but Barry came out of nowhere and said he wants revenge too. We team up and defeat Jupiter together, and then I go up to Cyrus to stop him from literally destroying the world. Don't you realize that literally destroying the world means that you'll be destroyed too? Good point. Well, now I have to deal with this Dialga he summoned, which will require advanced strategy and a lot of luck. I can't catch it since it's not a normal type, so I only have one solution. Run away! I'm not battling Dialga, I'm not the one who summoned it. I left Cyrus on Mount Coronet as I finally made my way to Sunny Shore City. When I got there, I was almost ready to challenge the electric type gym, but then remembered I forgot to grab the Earthquake TM from Wayward Cave. I flew over there, made my way in, grabbed the TM, and then realized that only Gertrude can learn it, which is useless because she has terrible physical attack. Hooray. So I ran into the gym with reckless abandon and challenged Volkner. I chose my best 4 Pokemon, but Volkner hits hard in this game. His Raichu loves to outspeed and spam Volt Switch, which made me have to pivot my strategy a lot. I was barely able to win, with Cheese being the last member standing on low HP. Now that I've proven myself the strongest gym leader in the Sinnoh region, I think it would be a good idea to challenge the Pokemon League. After making it through Victory Road, I finally arrived at the Elite Four. But before I could do anything, Barry runs up and challenges me to a battle. After I defeated him, I was finally ready to finish the run. Pause. I just wanted to mention that at this point I've been playing for 20 hours and I just wanted to get this run finished. I know a lot of bigger YouTubers are able to stream for over 12 hours a day, but I'm in college. The reason this video took me so long to make is I had no time to record gameplay at all. My normal strategy in a playthrough is to challenge the Elite Four over and over and over again instead of grinding, so I decided to do that. Eventually my team was in the low to mid-level 60s and I was very tired, so I made a decision on how to finish the run as fast as possible. You can call semantics on me, but I decided to save before each battle and reset if I lost. I know that takes some of the challenge out of Challenge Run, but I still have to win the battles. I'm still using my normal rule set, just saving a lot of time and in-game resources in the process. Aaron was the first and easiest member, especially with 2 flying types on my team. Hootzifer and Burb swiftly swept through his bug types, except his friggin' tanky Dustox. Cheese came out, finished off the Drapion, and I was on to the next battle. Bertha was another easy battle. Champ had no trouble sweeping through the first half of her team, with Cheese and Not Mankey finishing off her Golem and Hippowdon. Flint was the first member I truly struggled with when I was grinding up my team, so I had to come up with a complex strategy for how to deal with the Drifblim and Infernape. Hootzifer started the battle by taking out his Rapidash, Champ took out his Steelix, and Burb took out his Lopunny. Then Flint sent out his friggin' Drifblim, so I sent out Not Mankey because she has Shadow Claw for super effective damage and Aerial Ace for when Drifblim stacks up too many minimizes. Surprisingly, he switched to Infernape a few turns in, and I was only able to get a little bit of chip damage off before Not Mankey went down. Burb re-entered the battle and was able to take out the Infernape with a Brave Bird. This was actually very lucky because I lost many a battle to this beast of a Pokemon. Drifblim came back out and took out Burb, so I sent in Champ. Luckily, Drifblim doesn't have any attacking moves, so after a few Thunderbolts, Champ won the battle. Lucian is the last member of the Elite Four, and he ended up being easier than Flint. Gertrude started off the battle strong, defeating Mr. Mime. Burb took care of Medicham, and Champ was able to beat both Rafarig and Alakazam. His last Pokemon was Bronzong, so Gertrude came out and finished the battle with a few flamethrowers. Finally, after all of this time, effort, and training, I have reached the final battle. Champion Cynthia. She started off with her Spiritomb, so I sent out Hootzifer. Her strategy at the beginning was to spam Sucker Punch, so by alternating between Moonblast and Roost, Hootzifer had an easy win. Cynthia sent in Milotic next, and that's when I realized I don't have a strategy for her Milotic. I set my team perfectly to deal with all of her other Pokemon, but not Milotic. After throwing my plan out the window, I swapped into my only viable counter, Gertrude. The problem with Cynthia's Milotic is that it's very tanky, sporting a 125 base special defense, a Flame Orb that activates her Marvel Scale ability, and Recover. Milotic is tough to take down, but Gertrude has a higher 135 base special defense, so she can resist Milotic's attacks. Gertrude also has Serene Grace and Shadow Ball, which lowered Milotic's special defense, and she also has Soft Boil to restore HP. TLDW, Gertrude had a long, difficult, tedious battle, but eventually came out on top. I decided to keep Gertrude in as she sent out Lucario. Cynthia only uses special moves on Lucario, so Gertrude is able to tank the hits and defeat it with a few flamethrowers. Her next Pokemon is Gastrodon, so I heal up and switch into Champ, who takes out the Gastrodon with a few Grass Knots. I pivot back to Gertrude and take out her Roserade with a flamethrower, and just like that, I've reached her final Pokemon, the infamous Garchomp. Because I had to throw out my original strategy, I was just trying to improvise at this point. I kept Gertrude in and tried to deal some chip damage with Dazzling Gleam, but Gertrude went down pretty quickly. I pivoted into Not Mankey to lower Garchomp's speed with Low Kick, but Garchomp finished off Not Mankey with a single Earthquake. At this point, I only have 2 Pokemon left and I have a decision to make. I could send in Cheese right now for a strong Ice Beam attack, but the Garchomp's holding a Yachi Berry. If I send in Cheese, the most likely scenario is that Cheese goes down, Garchomp lives in the red, and Cynthia heals back up to full HP. So instead I decided to send out Burb. I've been playing for so long, and I do not want to sit through yet another Cynthia battle, so I go for Brave Bird, my strongest attack. Thanks to the contributions of my whole team that led me to this moment, Burb is able to outspeed the Garchomp, land a strong attack, and finish the battle. Finally, after 22 hours, I've become not only the strongest trainer in the Sinnoh region, but the strongest normal type trainer. I guess my next step is to get my own gym. Hey Cynthia, Professor Rowan, can I get a gym? No. Okay. I would highly recommend attempting your own gym leader run. It was so much fun trying to problem solve which Pokemon I would catch, which I would use in each battle, and how to approach a battle when I'm at a greater disadvantage than normal. I also think it's a good alternative to Nuzlocking. I know the Pokemon YouTube scene has been completely overrun by Nuzlocks for the past few years, but if you want a new challenge, I would try this one out. You could also combine it with a Nuzlocke, but I didn't because I don't like torturing myself just to create artificial difficulty in a Pokemon game.